for like 5 minutes or so to give you a chance to get some refreshments, some breakfast refreshments, and the arrival of some others that have given notice that they would be a little delayed. So please feel free to enjoy the refreshments. Breakfast refreshments, continental breakfast. Good morning. Hi. Praise God. Well, just be praying that it goes well. You know, that's a nice jacket. Woo, woo, woo. It may be missing from your closet. So, yes, over there by me. But you can go ahead and sit there, wherever you want. Go ahead and sit there, because that's, We have already called the session to order timely, but we have paused so that you may enjoy the continental breakfast, the breakfast refreshments.
Are you ready? I call it to order, not just quite yet. But President Biden apparently is not coming. She was here to speak. Oh my gosh, let me see, I asked
She'll come over about 9:30.
Okay, good. We'll go ahead and start and go with you when she comes in. Okay, great. We're going to go ahead and get started. Ready? Yes.
Let me stop the music.
Okay. Turn stop. You want to change the side? You ready? Yes, I'm ready. Oh, okay, no, go back to the white.
I'm heading with Dr. Archie. I'm coming in second. You are you okay?
I'm good. God has got me. Okay, you guys.
Amen.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay. It is just when I look out and I see all of you, and I know what a blessed day this is that the Lord has allowed us to awaken this morning. And as my ancestors always said, clothed in our right mind, okay, with a reasonable portion of health and strength. I think it's a day to shout, because so many, those of us that are in healthcare, recognizes the fact that there are many that are not able to witness the brightness of this morning. And so, again, it is my pleasure to welcome you. I am Dr. Berthel Archie, Assistant Professor in the Department of Nursing, Leadership for Transition into Professional Nursing Practice, and I'm also the Preceptorship Clinical Nurse Program Coordinator for Health Services Administration, and the Director and the Principal Investigator for Public Health, Informatics, and Technology. And so as my chair mentioned, she said, Dr. Archie, no wonder you're busy, you're running 3 programs. But you know what? She's right there running them with me, and also the department. And also you are helping. So it's a team thing. It's a us thing. And so together, we can all be winners. We can move ourselves to the next level. In reference to why we have assembled somewhat of a statement of the occasion, it is because this is the first HHS ONC site visit. And I understand that this is part of the routine, Dr. Govan Jenkins, when you have a grant of this nature, that there are site visits, on-site visits, okay? And so it's similar to those that are in healthcare. Dr. Legler is similar to our accreditation visits, but not as rigorous, okay? It's a very different. And permit me to establish a bit of protocol to Dr. Amenta Bro, our 10th president, our visionary, excellent, just your excellency, taking us to heights unknown. She will be arriving shortly. She will be bringing remarks. And in the same manner to our outstanding provost, Dr. Carl B. Goodman, visionary, taking us to higher levels. Get the job done, always. Gets the job done, always. To Dr. Cheryl Blackman, untiring leadership, excellency. She knows that she has toiled with me and Dr. Hill and the Department of Nursing into the wee hours of the night to make sure that we were able to bring these programs forward. And we just can't share with you all of the work that has gone into that. She's a dean and she doesn't have to do all of that. And to all of the deans that are in the room, okay, I don't know if Dr. McNeil has arrived or Dr. Qua, but certainly all of the deans have contributed related to this project. To all of the chairs, and I have to say I start with my chair first, the great Jacqueline J. Hill, okay, who is recognized as one of the top 100 influential women in Maryland in 2022, okay? So Dr. Hill, are you listening? Okay. Yes. There are other chairs, but I have to say, she is Uno number 1. You know, you have to respect your own household. And so I have to say that. And also to all of the other chairs, you are outstanding as well. To ORSP, Dr. Bissell-Hoyer and team, and to everyone that's here today, I just want to say, to God be the glory for your presence, and I welcome you. That is guest friends, and certainly we have a special acknowledgement for HHS ONC, which is, we have the deputy here with us, Ms. Lisa Lewis, who's sitting to my left with the blue on. We have Dr. Govan Jenkins, who is also sitting to my left, just removed her glasses, and Mr. Lewis, and then others. You'll all be able to participate later, but I just wanted to acknowledge some sequence of order today and just let you know how appreciative we are. And I'm going to go to the next slide to share, to anchor a bit. BSU was the recipient of a what? $10 million grant. Woo! Okay. And I've said to others, in order to be factual, Dr. Langler, I said it's $9,899,758. Yeah, it's $10 million, right? Okay. But let someone say, well, it wasn't that. It was we always put the facts out there, which is what? Evidence-based, all right? It's to state the facts. Even if you round up the numbers, you know that it was 98.4 or whatever the situation was. The program aims, so you're here because, Provost, because we aim to, this funds that we have aims to strengthen the U.S. public health information technology efforts, improve COVID-19 data collection, and increase the representation of underrepresented communities within the public health information technology workforce. ONC supports us in this initiative. That is why the table sitting to my left are here, because they support us in this initiative. And their support has also been immeasurable. And so we're so pleased to have a team that really cares about our success and give us guidance in this regard. And what I just want to mention another point about COVID-19. We have come through 2.5, you might say 3 years. We're coming on the upside, I think, of COVID, in that I believe in May, President Biden will be making some other announcements that will allow us to move to the next level in reference to whether we wear masks or not. And so we're going to claim it as we have made tremendous progress in terms of being able to stop, to some degree, COVID. We know that the number of deaths each day is less. It's around 300 last time I checked or so, and whereas before it was up in the thousands. So we know we're going in the right direction. But in reference to that piece, so much data has been collected, okay? Remember, everywhere we went, we were asked to fill out a form, we were asked to give our symptoms and all of that. So much data is in file 13 just sitting there. And so this particular grant will be able to deal with big data like that. If we're able to put that data into some software system and run it for 5 years, we're going to be ahead of the game, because we will find out that there are other things that have occurred that we can effectively treat or understand the trend in terms of the manifestations that we are seeing. So this will help us improve the delivery of population health, bedside health, and healthcare delivery as well. So this is a great thing that we're using this $10 million for, is to address President Biden's aims. What are the objectives for BSU, Bowie State University? These are 3 major aims that we have. Number 1 is to address the grant. We want to increase the percentage of minorities and persons from underrepresented populations in the information technology or informatic technology workforce, to collectively educate over 200 students in public health informatics and technology and public health informatics and boot camps by 2025. And so at this point, we have a boot camp session, advanced training that's in position, and with that completed, we'll be over 90. So we'll be about halfway, okay? So we will be looking good. And then thirdly, to implement 3 sustainable educational programs. The Bachelor of Science in Public Health Informatics and Technology, which you will hear us refer to as FIT. The Post-Baccalaureate of Science Certificate in Public Health Informatics, Dr. Zenabi, we will hear us refer to that as FIS. And then the boot camp session, post-high school graduates, adult professionals, and advanced training. Machine learning is all involved in that. Dr. Philip DeMello could not be with us today, and he's done a great deal of work on our boot camps. And we will be seating a fall class for Bachelors of Science. We have students already enrolled in that program. We have students enrolled at the traditional level, that is for a 4-year, and we also have students enrolled for the transfer, but we're still working on that. That is not done yet. And with that, I'm just going to give just a couple of points here in reference to the value. We have surveyed public health departments, hospitals, and others to identify needs that are unmet in their IT departments. And certainly, MedStar, Blue Cross Blue Shield, all of our support consortium members and our inaugural consortium members are aware of that. A few of the many needs among the consortium members were cleaning up data, analysis of big data, qualified staff to address multiple data analytic needs. When we speak of qualified data, we commissioned Education Dynamics to do a study on what does the IT workforce look like now. And what we discovered is that the IT workforce consists of 53% majority professionals and only 27% minorities. And thus is the reason why we're trying to get that 27% higher, okay? That is our whole focus. And as you can see, BSU is well positioned to be able to address that because we are HBCU University. Critical thinkers to disseminate information, communicate, and visualize data for presentation. This is one of the values that will be received. Partnership with the consortium members in a win-win situation. They have work that needs to be done. We have students that need to learn. So our students will be there learning and doing the work, and they will be able to have interns who are paid interns on our side. Our consortium partners have shared that they have data analysis projects they need staff to work on. BSU has, we have students, as I just said, who need to learn. And all together, we will be able to impact COVID from the outcomes that we identify from running this data in a variety of software programs. And so we will also be able to increase that number. And so with that, I am just so pleased to welcome all of you, and I am just so pleased that we were able to be the recipient of this grant. And so with that, I am going to ask Dr. Hill if she would come up, and I think President Bro has just arrived, and I know you have, okay, let's give her, okay. Wonderful. You know, I am Methodist, Dr. Goodman, and we have this thing, and I hope President Bro does not, feel anyways, whatever, when I say this. We have this, this protocol at the Methodist Church. When the bishop comes in, you stop and acknowledge them. And you also. So when our president comes in, our outstanding second to none president comes in, we're going to stop and acknowledge her, okay? So again, it's so good. And I know you have a constraint, so with my chair's permission, may we ask our president to come forward and give her remarks so that we don't delay her. Can we give a standing round of applause to receive our 10th president? Okay. Oh my goodness, it's so good to have you.
Thank you, Dr. Archie. I love your energy. That makes me, I can't remember the last time I got a standing round of applause. So can we do this every morning? This is great. Great way to get started. And good morning. It is so wonderful to be with you today and to welcome you to Bowie State University. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back. And for those of you who are visiting and you're here for this.
Change the slide so we can see your beautiful face.
Oh, well, I think they can, they're okay, but that's fine. Ta-da! Okay. I do hope that you will continue coming back to Bowie State University. There's a great deal of change happening, transformation happening at this university, and I want to thank Health and Human Services for your support. Thank you everyone who's here today that is partnering with Bowie State University and making sure that we continue to thrive here in Prince George's County, but also to, as a public university, serving the public good. We're so excited to get underway and to work with you to continue also what we say here, our Racing to Excellence journey. Racing to Excellence is the name of our strategic plan. It is designed to ensure that we keep pace with our learners, but also transform our product for higher education to ensure we're meeting the workforce needs and meeting the biggest societal critical issues facing our society. Our researchers around this campus are working on some of the most serious issues, from opioid addiction to the healthcare disparities, to food insecurity, homelessness, and we're very, very proud of the work that they are doing to make a difference and have an impact. Just this past weekend, we invited in our newly admitted students. And by the way, our class is looking very good for next year. I think we're going to hit it. I don't want to jinx this, but I think we're going to far surpass our goals, because what we see are applications continuing to rise and the demand is high for Bowie State University. And what we share with our students who are admitted is the sense of purpose for coming to Bowie State University. We don't want them to just think about what their discipline is about, what they're going to be studying in terms of the content, but we challenge our students, our bulldogs coming in, to think about for what purpose. For what purpose are you studying data analytics, nursing, public health, and so on? Because we do want our students to have a sense of the larger whole of how they fit into this society and how they can continue to contribute back and enrich their communities wherever they will find themselves after they graduate. So Bowie State University is about preparing students beyond completion of their degrees, making sure that they are contributing back. And it starts here on this campus to ensure that they live out the legacy that's being handed off to them. Bowie State University is the oldest HBCU in the state of Maryland. And that comes with a long and rich history of those who went on before who faced what probably seemed to them insurmountable challenges. But you know what? We're here today because of what they did and what they contributed and the fight that they fought, all the challenges that they faced, but they overcame. One of the legacies we talk a great deal about is the legacy of Nelson Wells, and I want you to remember this. And by the way, this president is known to quiz, so I just want to make sure that you're paying attention. It's important that everyone knows that name, anyone who's connected with Bowie State University. Who was Nelson Wells? Nelson Wells was a slave. After he was freed, he made it a point to save up enough money so when he passed, he bequeathed $3,500 to what is now Bowie State University. Just imagine a former slave who not only was able to save up money at that level, but also thought about generations to come. He would never know that he wanted to impact and make sure that they had a way forward to achieve their education. So that is the legacy that we hold so dear and we carry on. So the work that we will do together with you all in this room today and those to come is about preserving that legacy and making an impact and facing what might seem insurmountable challenges. But let's face it together. For our nursing department, our MPA, our public health experts here on the campus, and to our partners who we will be working with, let's face these challenges together and let's make an impact and change the world. This grant isn't just about here today, but it's about the future, our future. And I think our future is very bright because of our experts, Chair Hill, Jacqueline Hill, who is leading the way and who has made tremendous changes and transformation in nursing, so that when I say, well, where are we with those NCLEX scores, I know that we are racing to excellence. And Dr. Hill, I don't mean to steal your thunder, but the latest NCLEX scores, I want you to shout it out. Where are those latest NCLEX scores? Please, because I'm very proud of that. And don't be modest, stand up. Come on, we are bulldogs here. Give her a round of applause. Shout it out.
We are at 87%.
87%. What does 87% mean? It means that we are racing to excellence, led by outstanding leaders in nursing, Dr. Archie, and so many others across this campus. And so again, we're very pleased to welcome the Health and Human Services Office of the National Coordinating On-Site Group for this visit. Our experts are here today, our faculty and staff are here ready to collaborate, talk with you, and plan for the future together. Thank you for all you do today and what you will do tomorrow. It is indeed my pleasure, my honor to say welcome to BSU, the oldest HBCU in the state of Maryland. And this 10th president of Bowie State University is very pleased and honored to be working with you. Welcome, and here in the audience we have members of the administration, our provost and vice president, Dr. Carl Goodman, I'm sure you will hear from today. Dr. Bishop Hoyer, thank you for what you are doing to lead the Office of Sponsored Research and Projects. And please give her a round of applause. She looks bright-eyed and perky today, but believe me, as we are raising to excellence, we're very pleased with the new partnerships we've been able to garner through our government agencies and so many others. And so thank you, Dr. Bishop Hoyer. Someone who could not be with us today is Ms. Gail Bassett, who heads up, she's the director of our strategic engagement area, economic development and strategic engagement. She is holding up the mantle at the CIA today. I was just there yesterday, and so she's there today. That is yet another partner who is coming and saying, how can we work together? So, have a great day. We ordered up some great weather. We don't have a meteorology department, but we have some great weather for you. Welcome to BSU, and please let me know what I can do to strengthen this partnership. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, President Bro. It's always a pleasure to have you come and be with us and bring remarks. They're very motivating. And so we will continue with the program as published, and so we'll go back to bringing up Dr. Hill, if she would come up and have some remarks, and then we will proceed with the outline agenda that you have in your folder.
Good morning. And welcome. You met the vice president of the president of my fan club, Dr. Bertha Archie. And what she failed to tell you that she will be recognized as one of the top 100 women in Maryland this year. So as the chair of the Department of Nursing, I'm proud to welcome the Public Health, Informatics, and Technology program to our department. It is my distinct pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to each one of you joining us today. Our first HHS ONC site visit related to BSU being an award recipient of a $10 million, we're not rounding down, we're rounding up, $10 million grant, of which our own Dr. Bertha Archie is the principal investigator. The funds are being used to educate students from minority and underrepresented populations in public health informatics and technology. Welcome Mrs. Lewis and Deputy National Coordinator, Chief Operating Officer, and Dr. Jovan Jenkins, the project officers, one who works closely with BSU frequently in bi-weekly meetings and more. I understand that Dr. Mickey Tripathi, the National Coordinator of Health Information Technology at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, who was appointed by President Biden, is unable to join us today. During the ceremonial aspect of the HHS ONC site visit, excuse me, please convey our appreciation and well wishes. According to the Public Health Informatics Institute, informatics enables effective monitoring and surveillance, ensuring that practitioners have access to a timely and accurate data. Ultimately, public health informatics empowers disease interventions and prevention, leading to a better health of individuals and the communities in which we serve, live, work, and play. Our inaugural and support consortium members also play a significant role as they provide valuable internship placement, employment opportunities, and more. BSU looks forward to continuing our work with you as we change lives and improve the delivery of population health. Again, welcome and thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hill. Yes, not only am I a fan, but it's your Department of Nursing, okay? Because we appreciate so much what Dr. Hill is doing and leading the way. And being a Department of Nursing and all, it's really a challenge when you have to provide care during COVID season. We were sending our healthcare professionals out. Our students were doing the best they could. And so to be able to bring us through that period and facilitate health and wellness. And so we have chosen a career that really surpasses time in terms of the commitment to human life. And so if you have your program there, we will just continue with the next persons that are on the program. These are BSU persons that from not BSU, but HHS, persons who are working with BSU to be able to achieve the aim that I mentioned at the beginning. And to shorten that, the aim is again to educate persons from minority populations and underrepresented populations, okay, and fits public health informatics and technology, so that we will be able to add them to the workforce to increase that 27% that I mentioned to you where we are now to hopefully 40-50%, so that we will be able to have more diversity in the workforce in the IT. So it is my distinct pleasure at this time is to further acknowledge and turn over the podium mic to U.S. Department of Health and Human Services officers and other professionals that have come with Ms. Lisa Lewis, who is the HHS Deputy National Coordinator, Chief Operating Officer, and Dr. Govan Jenkins, who is our Project Officer, whom we know very well because Dr. Zenabi and others and Dr. Hill know we work weekly, and certainly you, Dr. Goodman, and many of you, and I don't know if any of the others are here, Dr. Aqua, Dr. McNeil, some of the other deans, who we're on those meetings frequently. And so with this, I'm going to ask both of you if you would come forward, or one of you, however you want to proceed, to have remarks in reference to the reason that we're here and how we'll be able to continue to work together, and anything that they would like to share. It is our pleasure to welcome you. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Certainly.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is great to be here, racing to excellence. I love it. I wanted to tell you all just a bit about how the FIT program started, talk about how grateful we are for your partnership, and just thank you for the work that you do every single day. So I'll start with how the FIT program started. I am someone who, if I see inequities, I charge in, and I've been like that since I was a young person, and I promised God that if He gave me a platform, I would use it for equality, for equity, to do the right thing. And so one night I was at home, it was late, and I got a call that there was $1 billion in ARP workforce funding available. And did I have a proposal? And the answer was yes, absolutely. If you have money, I always have a proposal. So I called the other deputy national coordinator. He runs one half of the organization, I run the other half. And I said, I want to put together a workforce program, but I want it to be different. I don't want it to go to the same universities that always receive this funding, who educate the same students that have created an over 80% white public health workforce and over 80% white informatics workforce that has not built capacity in the underserved communities, that has not built collaboration in underserved communities, that has not allowed us to have students come through their programs that look like me. And from there, the FIT program was born. And so when I come to the universities and I visit it is seeing a dream of mine come true. And I know that this is uncharted territory, and I know all the work, and I want to applaud Dr. Archie and Dr. Hill because it's uncharted territory. You know, you all have had to figure it out. The team at ONC with Wanda and the entire team, Cheryl and Eiffel, and I can name so many team members who are just putting in the work every day. My entire team who's sitting here, we had to come across and think about things differently. We had to create something, and that is not always easy to do, but it's worth it. It's worth it because we spend $4.8 trillion on healthcare in the US. And still, your zip code is the biggest indicator of your health outcome after $4.8 trillion. We have public health crises in our communities and minority communities that are never called as such. When the crack epidemic was roaring through minority communities, it was criminalized and we were told to just say no. But now that it's opioids and heroin, it's a public health emergency that deserves billions of dollars, year over year over year. We can't allow that to continue to happen. Right now, of that $4 trillion, 85% is spent on those with chronic illness. You want to know who's most impacted by chronic disease? Minorities. Are we out here saying we have to do something about that? Are we saying we must have more impact right now on social determinants of health, the social drivers that are creating health disparities, that are creating us as people, making sure that we are not receiving the health care we need? Because we aren't. We are not receiving the health care we need. We are not receiving the public health attention that we deserve. We are not receiving the guidance in our communities. We are not having community health workers that look like us, who care all the time about our elderly, about our young people, about those who do have chronic disease. We have a public health emergency right now. And that is why the FIT program is important. It's important because you are educating the future, as you do every single day. And you are educating the future that will create a different set of health outcomes, because we will look at it differently. If you look, my grandmother always said, if you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome, that is the definition of insanity. And I was also raised in the church. And so she let me know, you don't do that. You do what's right regardless. I like to say I was for diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility before it was a talking point. You know, I stood up for what was right during the Trump administration when they threatened to fire us if we said the words diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. Because what I've always said is you can have my job, but you will not have what I believe in. And I think we all have to stand up. We are at a time in this nation where we have the opportunity to really create change in healthcare. And to me, there's nothing more important than healthcare, which is why I came to ONC saying I was staying 2 years, and now 13 years later, I'm still here, making way less money than I could have been making. But the reason is because IT is going to change healthcare. The students that you are training right now, the reason why we have to make the connection between public health, healthcare delivery, and IT is because IT has changed any industry that there's been a disruptor. It's changed the transportation industry. It's changed how we buy goods and services. It's changed all of our expectations of availability of information in the financial systems. So as we educate more and more people about health IT, there will be a disruptor that turns healthcare on its head, that actually wants health outcomes and not dollars from the healthcare system that is right now very much transaction-based. We will ensure that your zip code is no longer the biggest determinant of the outcomes of your health. That bothers me. It bothers me every day, every time I think about it. And I think it should bother anybody who has dedicated their life to healthcare. That no matter how many times you go to the doctor, no matter what else is there, where you go home and lay your head at night is still your biggest determinant of your outcome. That has to change. I walked my grandmother through the end of her life. I had to pull her out of rural West Virginia, where she could not get the health care she needed because she was a black woman, period. I had to pull her out of there, bring her up here, take her to Georgetown, and I still had to sit in the doctor's appointments with her to ensure that they listened to her, to ensure that they knew what was bothering her, to ensure that they properly diagnosed her. I had to do the exact same thing years later with my grandfather. Exact same thing, 10 years later. And I can promise you right now, I would still have to do it today. We have got to make a difference, and there is no equity without representation. There just is not. There never has been, there never will be. So the whole point of this program is to make a difference, and that's what you all are doing. So when I come here and you say we are partners, we are partners. We are in this together. I fought for this program, and you all are fighting for it right now. to make it successful. So I thank you. I applaud you. You are in my prayers at night. I want you to be successful, and we are in this together. I want to again thank my team who works day in and day out to make this program a success. We are working to I'm working to find additional funding because I want to continue the program because I see the great work it's doing to build capacity, to build trust in our communities, to change how healthcare is delivered and how public health epidemics and crises are viewed in this country, and to ensure that we have people at the table when IT is developed, when we have systems developed and tools developed, that we are kept in mind, that what we need is at the forefront of those thoughts. And so I thank you for your time today, and I thank you for your work every day. God bless you.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Dr. Wanda Govan Jenkins, and I have the honor of being Bowie State University Project Officer. My background consists of being a registered nurse for over 30 years. I did bedside nursing for 14 years, and I've done informatics for the past 20 years, with 3 in the private sector and 17 years in the federal government. It's been a joy to assist and manage Bowie State University FIT program, and I award them as they begin to reach their goal to train 210 students in public health informatics and technology curriculum. I have not told Bowie this, but they have met 30% of their 210 goal. Surely this is not a race between the other recipients, but you are leading the other recipients by having that 30%. Continue to stay focused and train another 147 plus students over the next 2 years before the program ends. You do not have to stay at 147, so go beyond your 210 if you can. On behalf of the Office of the National Coordinator for Health Information Technology, we would like to thank everyone for supporting Bowie in this important endeavor. And thank you, Dr. Archie, for all that you do, Dr. DeMillo, what he's doing as well, and all the other leaders when you all on the call assisting me in trying to figure out how we're going to get you all to this 210 goal. Thank you.
Wow, you can see what a team we have, okay, at HHS and ONC, both as reflected by the remarks that you received from Ms. Lewis and the remarks that you received from Dr. Govan Jenkins. And so I certainly can say with clear awareness how much they have really toiled with us. You know, sometimes when you're before an assembly like this and people make remarks, you know, the words are there and that, yes, they work with us. But those that have really been with them day and night and working, we know what that really means. It's beyond just the words. And so I appreciate the fight that I hear in you, Ms. Lewis and Dr. Govan Jenkins. So you see, we certainly are able to have leaders at HHS ONC that will fight to have these programs go forward. And I was really taken by the fact that you said, Ms. Lewis, that you're looking for additional funds because I've conferred with the provost and with our chair regarding that we want to have a master's in public health informatics and technology and a doctorate, okay, in the Department of Nursing. And so we will be looking for, if, you know, could we get 20 million, you know, okay. I think that will soften it a little bit. I am pleased to now revert back to the Bowie State University leadership, and so let's see if I'm trying to work this this particular PowerPoint slide, but to have none other than our outstanding provost come forward And when I mentioned about the fact that when you hear the word someone works with you, I mean, it's just words, but I can truly say, and Dr. Hill can attest, we were talking yesterday about something that came up, someone who is a true friend to the Department of Nursing and who really rolls up his sleeves and work with us. It's not, I mean, you have a provost who will work with you to 10 or 12 o'clock at night if you have something to get the job done. And there's just so much that I could say about you, Dr. Goodman, and you know what Dr. Hill and I reflected, that you just worked with us tirelessly. And so we appreciate you as we appreciate our dean and all of you. But at this time, I'm going to ask you to come forward and have some remarks. Okay, can we receive him to...
Thank you, Dr. Archie. I want to mention when I came into the room with Dr. Hill, she called me a name. I won't call that name. But I definitely want to thank, number one, definitely want to thank ONC, Ms. Lewis, Dr. Govan Jenkins for this great opportunity we have here at Bowie State University. As the provost, as many of you all know, I have a very difficult job in charge of 4 colleges, 19 different academic programs. So as a parent, normally you always say how many kids you have, and any of these kids special, all the kids are special. So all of our programs that we have here at Bowie State are definitely very special. And the unique thing about this particular program that we have with the FIT and as well as the FIS is that it really is an interdisciplinary type of a program we have. And that's the uniqueness that really why I'm so excited about the uniqueness we have in this program. I have a degree in pharmacology and toxicology, and Ms. Lewis, as you mentioned earlier, really, when you look at the things that are going on, when you talk about health inequities, you talk about really how we can really change the patterns of how today's society, particularly with underrepresented minorities. And so things like biomarkers, things like precision medicine, things like epigenetics, those are really some of the key markers, the key things in terms of how we're going to change really the world today. And really here at Bowie State University, when I came here about 2.5 years ago, we only had really nursing as really one of our health career services programs. We also had bioinformatics. But really when we had the opportunity, when I see Ms. Gail out here, Bassett out here, and we had the opportunity when we saw the announcement of the FIT program, I was delighted and overjoyed that, hey, we have a golden opportunity really, particularly here in the DMV area, to have a major change. We talk about really health informatics, looking at public health and putting that with informatics technology. And so the uniqueness that we have here at this university, to have an undergraduate program, I think we're one of maybe a handful of programs that have a BS program. There are several programs on the master's side. And so we have an opportunity right now at this university where we have really 3 major departments, professional studies, the College of Arts and Science, and the College of Business, all working together so that we know that we can have a major impact. And so we talk about really graduating those next individuals who are coming out in terms of that workforce demand. We know we have those things, and I definitely want to thank all of our consortium partners as well, because we couldn't do anything without really a program. So we have great education, but really those internship opportunities, those experiences they will have before they get out of this great university are much more needed as well. And so again, I just want to say thank you all for coming. We know that this is really your on-site meeting, our first on-site meeting. We know there's a lot of things that are going to be taking place, a lot of helpful advice and all those things. Again, I just want to say thank you again and wish you all the best. If there's anything that I can do here at Bowie State University to make sure that you'll just stay here is enjoyable, please let me know. And again, thank you all very much for today.
Thank you, Provost. Really appreciate that. I am going to go through the list and just have you follow in sequence. We certainly have Dr. Blackman with us, and I just want to find out if all of you are here. Is Dr. McNeil, are you here with us? Okay, okay.
He does that.
Oh, okay. So we'll just go through the outline as you have it here, and you've heard me mention comments about them all, but I just have to take a special moment to just say a few additional words about Dr. Blackman. She has helped us tremendously, another friend to the Department of Nursing. And she's over several departments. She's over the College of Professional Studies, which have, I believe, 5 departments under. So when you talk about, I'm over 3 programs plus, she's over 5 plus, and all of the other things that she does within each one of those to move everything forward. And again, when we say she works with us, it just does not do justice when you look at what the work really entails. So it's my pleasure to bring forward the most, in my opinion, outstanding dean, not taking away anything else from the others, but she's over our department, that there is. So would you come forward? And then if we would be followed by Dr. Lawrence McNeil, who has toiled with us as well, Dr. Georgia Qua, and they know what all they have done to help move forward. Dr. Clemens, if he would come forward as well, who is the Vice President for Enrollment Management and Student Affairs, who's working tirelessly now to help us seat a fall class. And certainly Dr. Zenabi, who's toiled with us every step of the way on this program, especially the certificate program. So he will be speaking. And Dr. Bisahoya, who's also, I've never known an ORSP department that works as hard as their department. They are definitely on the map, outstanding. And then we will acknowledge any students. I'll come back and acknowledge any students that are in the room, but our additional introductees are all outstanding. Come forward, Dr. Blackman. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Dr. Archie, for that introduction. It is really exciting for me to be here this morning because of the path that we have taken to get to this point. And I must say that speaking from the point of view of being the interim dean of the College of Professional Studies, this is exciting for us as well. These two new programs. The college is, I think, the second largest college here at Bowie. And what we have done is form that collaboration with our other two colleges, the College of Business and the College of Arts and Sciences, and to come up with these two unique programs. And our goal is to make them signature programs here at Bowie State University. So I want to take this opportunity to thank HHS, ONC, all our supporters, all the consortium members, and also let Dr. Archie know that we are going to support her continuously. This is not the end, this is only the beginning. And I know she has worked really, really hard in terms of getting the programs through. And these programs give our students, especially our nursing students who may not get into the program, another opportunity to be in the healthcare field. And we are really, really excited about that because many of them do not want to leave the field, and we know how competitive it is to get into nursing. So we are really anxious, excited about this opportunity for them to have this other option. So as we go forward, we know that we will continue to have your support, and as Dr. Archie said, even your financial support even more as we continue to develop these programs. And I would be remiss if I really didn't give a shout out to Dr. Zenabi, who has worked really hard on these two programs, Dr. Zenabi. So thank you for any time we called on him, he was right there to support us. And also to thank everyone else who has supported us along the way. So we will continue to do our best to make sure that these programs are successful. So thank you, and thank you for being here today. Yes, please.
Thank you. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I am the Associate Dean for the College of Business. Unfortunately, Dean McNair has some commitments. He's not able to be here with us. I would like to start by welcoming the staff of Health and Human Services and ONC to Bowie State University. And I would also like to congratulate the nursing department for the program, for the FIT program. I think this is a very big achievement, especially as we are training the 20th century, 21st century students that are expected to be highly competitive. I think this program is the right program for them. The College of Business, with our Data Analytics Center, we are going to continue to provide the support to this program. The Dean has expressed this desire to continue in this collaboration. Our lead person in the college, we know Dr. Zenevic is sitting with me over there. He will come over here and say more about his role in this whole program. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Zene Zeneva. Actually, I have been 17 years at Bowie, so I love this institution. Especially its mission is unique. So the mission is unique. So I'm currently the chair of information system. So from that, you can tell what we bring to this multidisciplinary program is a system approach to solution, the IT components, system analysis, design, data management, data analytics, along with project management and other business elements. So I'm representing many faculties. I'm the chair. This work is a great journey. I think it took us almost 2 years to be where we are. So in any marathon, there is ups and downs. So again, for that, I would like to thank the provost, really, and also Dean Blackman for answering our calls, being with us to support us sometimes when we get to a deadlock situation. So that's very important. Also, I would like to thank HHS/ONC team, the project managers. We have many virtual, not real, but virtual meetings. So we appreciate that. Without that, we wouldn't be here. Also, the grant office. Also, I would like to thank who starts this idea. I got the first call from Ms. Bassett to be part of this. So first one is the most important, right? So thank you for that. I think it's going to be a great program. I know I will be speaking about the graduate certificate in public health informatics later on. We are excited. This is, again, it's the beginning where we have to get students, excite students, bring them and nurture them, educate them, and tell them the present and the future belongs to them. They have to work hard and get it. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. So my name is Anika Besahoyo, and I have the pleasure of also welcoming our special guests from the Department of Health and Human Services and ONC. So I was going to be the comic relief. That was my plan this morning. And let me tell you why. I recently went to a birthday event for my mom, and they had a comedian there. And before he started, he said, "Everybody stand up and clap your hands." And we didn't know why, right? And then we sat back down. He said, "Okay, good. Now I can tell my wife that I had a standing ovation." And so that's what I was going to do. But Dr. Bro beat my thunder, and you already stood and clapped for her, so I won't do it. But seriously, I thank you for giving Bowie State this opportunity to help lead this very important initiative to train future leaders and practitioners in public health and IT. We don't take this lightly. We really are working at this daily, and I am so impressed that you are working with us daily on this also. So with that said, on behalf of the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs, we are committed to continuing to building on what has been started, and we look forward to seeing the outcomes, seeing the great students that come out of these programs. I also want to acknowledge my colleague, Gail Bassett, who is the executive, I'm sorry, I'm about to give you a different title, director. She's actually the Director of Economic Development and Strategic Initiatives in the Office of the President. And as was said by Dr. Zenabi and others, she really got us started on this wonderful ride. You know, I might have been calling her different names one day, but overall, she helps to push and make sure that we're going in the right direction. This was absolutely the right direction in partnership with the College of Professional Studies, the College of Arts and Sciences, and the College of Business. So thank you, and I look forward to our time with you over the next 2 days. And likewise, if there's anything that I can do to make your visit even better, please let me know.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Besahoya, also a very hard worker. Before I introduce the students, I am going to ask Ms. Bassett if she would come forward and have a few words, Ms. Gail Bassett. And I just want to share with you, she and I and several others, Dr. Zenabi and some of the others, we were working on this at the very last minute to get the application in. Come on up, you remember that? The phone calls were going back and forth, but I want to tell you something, share something that I share with my students, okay? I talked to them, we were working on this because we didn't have a whole lot of time, right? And so there's so much, you know, when you fill out something for the government, do you know how you have to do all that work? It's like, you have to, if I drink, I would say take a stiff drink and then work on it, but I don't drink. So I'll just stay with the Perrier water. Anyway, or the Shirley Temples. Anyway, we were thinking like, should we just pull back and submit the application later because we would like to be able to do more things. And we said, because we were just working. There were pieces, you were writing, we were all working. I was up, this was like 11 o'clock at night. It got to be like 11:45. And you know, the government, if you don't submit it on time, I don't care if you 1 second after the time, it says, you ain't getting the money. You know what I mean? So we know how it is working with the government. So we thought, oh my gosh, it's like almost ready to stroke midnight because it said it has to be in by midnight. And we were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't. And we think, well, there's other things that we want to do. But we all thought about it's important to persevere. And so the button was pushed to say, let's send it with what we have. Sometimes, you know, you have to just say, this is the best we can do with the time that we have, and we're just going to send it and fall on our knees and pray. Had we not submitted it, we would have not gotten this $10 million. And do you realize that we're the only recipient of an award, an HHS ONC award of this nature in Maryland, okay? The only one, okay? The only one. And Ms. Bassett played a significant role in helping us at that final moment, and even like it's been said, she was working with the provost because he wanted us to do more grants, right? And more, etc. Work together to bring that to us. And for however reason, I don't know how did I get on this list? Okay, I got a call. But anyway, I have to give her an opportunity to address the assembly because we recognize the work that she did with the provost and still the work that she's doing in her other roles. So please. Okay.
Wow, I did not expect to be at the mic. I just thought I would just join the team today. But thank you so much, everyone, for the acknowledgments. And yes, I think I was with Bowie maybe a couple of months at that time. I was the special assistant to the provost for federal contracts. Now, of course, I'm the director of economic development and strategic engagement. And yes, I have 20 plus years of federal government contracting. So when I saw this come across my desk, I knew we had to go after it. I knew we weren't quite ready, but we were going to get ready. I knew we had capable folks, and I had to learn who the folks were at the time. So it was a lot of things going on, but it was a lot of 24 hours, overnight, no sleeping. It was a lot of times I'm like, I don't think we're going to do this. But then, due to the encouragement of Dr. Archie, Dr. Bishop Hoyer, the provost, we got it done. Yes. And we got it done and we're here. And so I want to acknowledge our subcontractor also because we needed support. The federal government, I'm still working on this, on trying to understand how best to work with universities and what we provide as far as goods and services. So I knew we needed a subcontractor project management support, because most of our faculty, of course, are faculty and they're teaching, and they're not necessarily project managers. So so I brought on my good friend, Jean Drummond. Oh shoot, Jean, I forgot the name of your company, but she has a public health background, and I knew that she would be very significant in helping us move this project forward and to be able to execute on our deliverables. So I thank you so much. Thank you for the acknowledgement, and I will continue. Look, I graduated from Bowie in my undergrad. This is my love. I'm gonna do everything I can for Bowie State University. So this is full circle for me. So I just really appreciate everything you said, Director, because it is important. And I've always been an advocate for minority business participation, because that was my role in the federal government also, and also the state. I was a senior executive in the state. And it's always about promoting us, because we have the talent, we just need access and opportunities to get there. So thank you for giving us, for awarding us the contract. I knew we had to answer the mail, as I said, and I thank God we did. But we continue and appreciate everything you do for us, and we will continue to increase all the capacity and the services that we need to do to not just get the money, because the money for me is not that important. It's the project, it's the goal, it's the outcome. The money will always come. So anyway, this is Bowie. Bowie is bold, Bowie is bad, Bowie is, so racing to excellence, we are striving for excellence too, every day. So thank you so much, and we will continue to move forward. Thank you, Dr. Hill, my girl. Thank you, Dr. Hill and Dr. Goodman. So enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
We have a distinguished other guest. He's a director over the grants who has joined us, and I would like to have you step forward and have some remarks and introduce yourself even more. So thank you. This is wonderful. We just have more and more people joining us who had challenges in their schedules, but God just cleared it so that he could come. So speak.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I'm the Director of Procurement and Grants at ONC. My name is Sion Wilberg, and this grant is absolutely phenomenal. We had some stalwarts that supported this grant from the inception. Lisa Lewis, we also had Steve Posnack. They went after this funding for you guys, right? We want to make sure that we can support us. We wanted to make sure that we can bring more minorities into the public health platform. And we found out through various studies that we were underrepresented. And this was an opportunity to level the playing field. And we took some significant efforts. We consulted with the White House. We want to ensure that they got the representation that they needed as well, because it was $80 million in funding. And we allocated over $75 million to 10 universities, which is an enormous feat. Right? It took a lot of legwork. It took exceptional technical evaluation panel members. It took a lot of leadership involvement to get this program off the ground. And I'm absolutely glad to be here and to support this program. I will always make myself available to Bowie State so that you guys can be successful. And we are here together. This is a partnership, and I have no doubt that you guys will get all of the goals that you guys set forward to meet in this grant program. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to anyone else. This is very impromptu, but I'm here. I love this program. I wish that we can get $10 billion to support this program. And if we ever do, we'll make sure that it gets out to minorities to represent us in the future. So thank you guys, and have a great day. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sion is Wilbur, who is the Director of Procurement Grants. And so we're so pleased to have, as I reflect, this team from HHS ONC, it is beautiful, because it is clear to us that we're going to have projects going forward in the future in which we will continue to make a difference in population health and other settings as well. And it also kicks back over to at the bedside, okay? But we know that HHS
ONC focuses more on population health, okay? We know what NIH focus more on bedside health. And so we have that clear. But what a team. Thank you so much. I would like to just acknowledge any students. We did have students who were going to be with us today. If you would stand, any students that are with us, some of you shared that you would be with us. And students, come on up and just have a quick word, okay? These are students, okay? And there are other students that are in class because we have completed 2 boot camp sessions, and we have 26 now that are in a semester session, which it's called an advanced training, machine learning. So students, come on up just a minute and just have just a quick word as we proceed forward. Okay. And you just share your name and what boot camp that you participated in.
Good morning.
And what you learned.
My name is Peter Fortang. I'm a biosurveillance epidemiologist with the Maryland Department of Health. And it's wonderful to finally see the faces that made it possible for us to take the course. And I've walked in and listened to Dr. Lewis talking, and I think the representation, it's a wonderful thing. I mean, not being represented. If you don't have a seat at the table, no one hears your voice. So I think it's very, very significant. And I think I'm here with my colleague, Omar Balama, who was also part of the course. And I think Omar did some presentation during the course, right? And I think we took the last course that was offered by Bowie State. And apparently when that came out, the advert for the program came out at the health department where we work, people were looking and they saw Bowie State and they started looking at other universities, thinking they're offering the same program. Everyone ran to Johns Hopkins, looking to see if it's offering the program, but of course only Bowie State was offering that. So I think that's a wonderful thing. And most often we hear about programs, but we don't think about the effectiveness. Now, I'll just talk briefly about how that program has helped us. Now, we're the biosurveillance team, meaning that we look at all the data that comes from the hospitals and urgent cares and over-the-counter sales of medications. And OMA is actually in charge of opioid data for all opioid fatality, non-fatal opioid cases in Maryland. He's the one who does surveillance on that. And so with this program, when we came into this program, we were trying to create dashboards. Not familiar with dashboards. After this program now, we're working on a Tableau dashboard where we're gonna do visualization of our surveillance for the state of Maryland. So all Maryland, what we call syndromic surveillance, will be displayed on the dashboard. And due to some of the lessons that we picked up from that program, like Python, Tableau especially, we're gonna have a visualization dashboard that the state of Maryland can have a representation of what is happening disease-wise within the emergency rooms and within urgent cares and also other non-fatal opioid cases, which is very important because then when we can break down from what we've learned, how we can represent those numbers so it can be visualized. And the one thing that I'm pretty sure most of us here know about that, numbers help policy, right? If the numbers are not represented well, policies are going to be made based on the numbers. So I think it's very, very important to have those in minority being able to be in positions where they can put proper display to the numbers. Because again, from our background in public health, you can have the numbers, right? They have a saying that data has a story to tell. So it's up to the statisticians that give that data a voice. So if you have data and you don't project it well, it can be recognized. And if it can be recognized, policies can be made to skew towards that need. So I'll leave it there. I don't know if you want to say something on
Sure. I mean, I think you just covered everything. So my name is Omar Balmar. As my colleague mentioned, I am an epidemiologist for the Maryland Department of Health. I am responsible for the opioid data to action, and my main focus is to monitor the entire state of Maryland to make sure any incident of overdose, non-fatal overdose, we monitor for it, and then we communicate it to our leadership to make sure we take the proper actions in our communities. I was a part of the public health informatics program, and they were very phenomenal. I gained so much from it. All the way from communicating with our back-end systems to understand what's going on, how our data systems are being fed from the back system, all the way to how to utilize statistical packages like Python to be able to perform analytics. So I'm hoping down the road that we get more informatics people involved under Bowie State University, because this was very phenomenal. Thank you.
Just to add one thing, we also have a program which is workforce development, which I know part of this program was to have people on training. So the state offers that, which is a wonderful thing for some of the graduates, some of the students from Bowie State who graduate from the program to come in and have some hands-on training with some of the statistical packages that we have at the state level.
Wonderful. I'm going to ask you to give your name and also what your current position, your student. If some of the participants in the boot camp came from the workforce already, like you heard some mention epidemiology and so forth and so on, and so just share that. And what did you learn? What stood out when you went through the boot camp? Just maybe one thing in the interest of time. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Uchenna Ndolo. I'm a PhD student from Computer Science Department. Actually did my MIS, my mentor actually, Dr. Zenibe here, I did my MIS at Bowie State as well. So it was really an honor to be part of this group. When I heard about this, I jumped onto it. I don't have any health background, but being the fact that I am into the IT side of it, which is computer science, if you come into our department right now, almost everyone is interested in the health aspect of computer science. We're using the data science that we picked up from the program that was done this past with the FIT program. Every single one of us, I'm telling you, our research paper, everything has to do with health. Yes. So you can see that this is making an impact to everyone, not just the Bowie student, but everyone outside Bowie students. The project we did was actually from Texas, just to let you know. So in reviewing the documentation that we did, every one of us now are bringing it back to home to make sure that we're able to apply what is going on in our own community and being able to apply it to what we're doing today. So here are my classmates. We look forward to having more, and thank you for the money. Please bring in more, because we have more students that are interested in jumping into this. Thank you.
You both can give your names if I know you were part of the team, yes, okay. And maybe just one quick thing that you learned, okay, that stood out. Yes.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tolu Oshotoye, and I'm also a doctoral student of computer science, and I also have an MIS degree, and Dr. Zelebe is also here. So for the FIT program, I learned a lot about the healthcare sector, and it got me more interested in data analytics, and then so far I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, good morning. My name is Sir Franklin Olivers. I'm a doctoral student in computer science department too. So for the FIT program, it's an eye-opening program in the area of health for us in computer science, and that the loss of opportunity and the research areas in health for us. So just like my colleague said, most of our research areas now is focused towards health, because there are potentials and there is an area where a lot have not been done. So the FIT program have been helpful to us, and we look forward to more programs for them to improve on this program. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Victor Makarov, and I graduated from FIT Bootcamp, and I wanted to read a letter signed from by 23 bootcamp participants. We thank Mr. Gregory Frank for inviting students to join this meeting. Bowie State University FIT education is excellent, and we thank ONC for making this possible. Our deepest gratitude goes to Dr. DeMello, who trained last year almost 60 students, and it was intense, but the best training I've ever had. And we learned Python programming, public health, data analytics, and data science, information systems, and data exchange, to name a few. We learned that FIT professionals are in a great demand right now. And assistance in placement is one of the central elements of FEED program right now. Currently, Dr. DeMello he runs all of the FEED training at the university, and Dr. Arch is responsible for internship placement. Unfortunately,
yes, I'm going to have you kind of shorten it, okay? Yes, okay. And so, you want to say one last thing in terms of what you learned and what your outcome?
Yeah, we learned about Python programming. We learned about Tableau, how to clear data and work with that. And just to say that all of the students and bootcamp participants are waiting for the placement, and it's been a long time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. So you may have your seats. Thank you very much. And so he said they're waiting for the internship placements. And you know, we have our consortium members here who really have provided us with internship sites. And so you're going to hear more about internship placements. You're going to hear more about prospective employment placement opportunities and so forth and so on. So let us move to the next level. I would like to, at this time, I would like to just ask you to go ahead and do the demonstration with this particular session. I can't even tell you how helpful and beneficial HCDI, Healthcare Dynamics International, has been to support the BUI program. Ms. Jean Crowder-Drummond, even with putting this session on, they were at my beck and call. I just have to say it. Dr. Archie, do you need this? We were here yesterday setting up, and she brought her whole team, Mrs. Way, Ms. Brown, Ms. Kiara Covington, and just the whole team. And I am going to ask Ms. Drummond if she would come forward and give some remarks. And Ms. Drummond, probably have you go ahead and do the demonstration at that time, right, as we move forward. And Dr. Doswell, are you here? I know he was trying to have some conflict in schedule. Yes, you're here. I am going to also have you come forward following that and have some remarks as well. Dr. Doswell really helped us with the curriculum. We needed some particular other syllabi programs developed, and he, in a short period of time, was able to assist us from the IT perspective with 4 curriculum packets. And we have other opportunities that he will be able to participate with us on. But with this particular section of consultants, I can't tell you how supportive and valuable they are to us. And we just look forward to being able to work with them. And so, Ms. Drummond, would you come forward with your team? We appreciate you so much and all that you've done and the support that you've given to me.
Sure, absolutely. Dr. Archie, would you come now, before you go? You know, she works 24/7. I think she's trying to pray and ask God for one more hour, right? We just wanted to give her a little something, just to let her know how much Sister Way, Kiara, all of this, just to say how much we appreciate just the diligence and what have, just all the work that she has done. Can y'all just give her that round of applause?
What a surprise.
It was a surprise. It wasn't, and don't worry, it's not on the budget. I understand. Especially my grandson, right? We filled out many. Good. Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, good morning. I'm excited to be back here. Certainly it's my alumni of my alma mater. I'm a twice round HBCU product. And Miss Lewis, wow. Man, I thought I had a fire lit down inside of me like Jeremiah, but I thank you that took it to a whole other level. Thank you so much as you share the $1 trillion. I typically say that 19.7 of our gross national product and the 16th in the world, and just talk about the trillions of dollars that are spent and lost because of equity disparities, right? When you think about maternal health, okay, I won't go on, but I am just absolutely ecstatic. And certainly, Gail called me. I'll never forget it. Thank you so much for just reaching back. Yes, absolutely. So I am Jean Drummond. I'm absolutely excited. President of Healthcare Dynamics International. We're excited. We have well over about 170 full-time staff.
and federal government contracting started at CMS. My background is health equity. And so, like you said, we've been talking about health equity for a long time. Well before it was a sexy word, well before even there was money to spend on it, right? We knew about it. We all have the stories that we can go back. But let me get back to business. I just really want to say that we are ecstatic to be able to be a preceptor site for students. And we have a video. Beside me, I have Chen, help me last word, I always.
Hobache.
Oh, Hobache. And soon to be a PhD, soon to be PhD. And so we want to just share kind of our work that we're going to be providing and just to share the experience. So all those performance dashboards, we use them daily. So largely, we work with CMS, we work with many of the HHS, but we also work with health plans. When we're working with health plans, it's all powered by performance dashboards. So students, you need to learn it. How all of the background, how do you disaggregate the data? You look at real data, social data, zip code data, like Ms. Lewis is saying, that's exactly it. And so this is a little video that we put together for you.
As an alumni of Bowie State University and the president of Healthcare Dynamics International, we are delighted to serve as a preceptor site for Bowie State University student internship IT clinical experience.
Students will work alongside our team and engage in thought-provoking conversations to accomplish.
Okay, you can.
Is
let me.
No. Oh, hold it near the computer.
Thank you.
That may be
Let me see. We're going to give it a try.
They work on performance dashboards and other data visualization tools, such as Power BI, to discover.
Can you help? Can IT help us? Ms. Welbert?
She stepped away for a moment.
She stepped away?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got him here in person. How about that? So go ahead. So Chen, you want to just kind of introduce yourself?
So my name is Chineduma Hobache. I am a data analyst here at HCDI, and I am beyond honored to open up the internship that we have offered for the BSU students. And I'm also excited to offer the professional experience for our future students as well. So thank you very much.
And just share a little bit what you do with the Power BI.
Okay, so with Power BI, I know you guys brought up Tableau. Power BI is also another tool similar to Tableau that is able to create dashboards and also help drive decision making so that we can improve health equity as well.
Absolutely good. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
So let me just ask, do you want to now play the video?
Oh, sure we can. Sure you can. Please come back.
Mrs. Wetburn, she's checking on the
sound.
On the sound right now.
Okay. All right. But so if you want me to expound on it, so essentially we currently have millions of where we are high trust certified. So students, these are words that you need to understand. High trust certification allows you to make sure that you are protecting the PHI data, right? Personal information, health information. And so our focus with health equity, because Bowie State University, you've heard the leadership speak about that, we particularly focus on areas. So diabetes, but not just diabetes. Who has the diabetes? What is their race, ethnicity, and language? What we call real data. We also look at SOCI data, social orientation and gender identity data, right? We look at zip codes. So it's not all, it's disproportionately represented. You know, so you might have, we're looking for the most vulnerable. Who has the social needs? What are the social needs? What are the social drivers? You've heard all of these words. And so we're putting all of this information in databases, but it's important how you analyze it because, and this is so good, you have data, but if you don't continue to peel that data back through many of the strategies that you're being taught here at Bowie. You don't get this everywhere. Bowie is looking for the vulnerabilities so that we can go to those populations and create culturally competent, listen to me, culturally competent programming. What you do for a white male is not what you do for a black male. What you do for a Hispanic teenager is not necessarily what you do for an African American teenager in Alabama. I mean, so it has to be developed to a point that, so it can be effective, so we can address these inequities. And that's what you do if you have the data analytics, the performance dashboards, you're using these tools with your health equity lens to then drive decision-making, drive policy. And she can't allocate dollars if she doesn't have the performance dashboards, the data dashboards, that she can justify the funding for the programming. So Doc, tell me to sit down because I can talk about stuff.
No, we'll play the video.
Oh, you got it? Okay, all right. But that's so critical. Students, you have
As
to
an alumni
learn this.
of Bowie State University and the
me.
president of Healthcare Dynamics International, we are delighted to serve as a preceptor. The student internship IT clinical experience.
Students will work alongside our team and engage in thought-provoking conversations to population health data sets to solve complex challenges. They will work on performance dashboards and other data visualization tools, such as Power BI, to discover innovative health insights. As a member of our team, I too continue to learn and pursue academic excellence as those enrolled in BSU's Public Health IT program. We look forward to working with each of the BSU internship students.
Yes. It's so important. Yes. I got to just say so much. It's so, these students, please go to school. I mean, study, this is so important. We need you to change the world. We really do. I'm sorry.
Let's give them another round of applause, okay? Excellent. So they just, one of the concepts they were talking about, Power BI, which is a visualization data tool that helps students understand, they will be able to better understand how are we able to use that technology to improve the delivery of population health, okay? And so all of these tools that we're using, they're being used for one purpose, and that is to improve health and wellness for people. That's the bottom line. Even though it's population health, it's the people, okay? And then the other piece comes with the environment. And so, Dr. Doswell, will you come on up and share? This is also a heavyweight person who has just a number of degrees. He's super well published, and he has a number of tools that he has, in fact, that he has developed, and some new things that he's working on. But I would like for you to come forward and share. And again, you heard me say that he worked with us on 4 syllabi packets when we were completing the curriculum for implementation. So.
Thank you so much. Dr. Archie, it's an honor. So thank you so much for providing me with that opportunity. It challenged me to get it completed in a very short period of time. So thank you for challenging me. 6 billion neurons, I appreciate that. So as many of the speakers discussed, there's many health disparities that adversely impact the United States and the world. And I'm glad that HHS is here and allocated this award. You know, there's only 1,000 millions in a billion. There's only 1,000 billions in a trillion, so that means it is definitely possible. I'm Dr. Jacobs Doswell, President and CEO of Juxtopia. Juxtopia is a biomedical company. I'm also an adjunct professor in computer science here at Bowie State University. Oberlin College grad. Before you were black, if you were black back in the day and had to go to a college and wanted to get a college degree, you went to Oberlin College before there was HBCU. But I'm a proud graduate from Howard University as well, HU, absolutely, in computer science, and a PhD at George Mason University in computer science. So in this program, Public Health Information Technology, very important. It's been going on for quite some time at the APHA, for example, which is the largest public health association in the United States. I attend almost every year, help create the Health Informatics and Information Technology section of APHA with my mentor, Dr. Diane Adams. And we, review abstracts, look at a variety of different interventions to address health disparities ranging from diabetes to cardiovascular disease to Alzheimer's to pediatric asthma. We're doing this study here at Bowie State University as well, and we provide internships in the company. So this is a very, very important program. I'm glad that Bowie State University is embarking upon this endeavor. Just to give you a background, in 2002, when I started my company, it was focusing on hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, which is loss of oxygen to the fetal brain outside of a hospital environment, using a transcutaneous wearable pregnancy monitor to look at those biomarkers that are very early, that provide early indications of fetal demise and maternal hemorrhaging. And as you know, as we all have seen on the news with the NIH Improve program, Black women die from childbirth more than any other women ethnicity in the United States, which is a huge problem. Health informatics provides the tools for us to create those solutions to address that health disparity, to attack it head on, and then to eradicate it forever. And there's also other types of other disparities where health informatics and information technology can eradicate those disparities as well. At Bowie State University, there's Dr. Yan, who's a professor. There's a student that she's working with here. One of my companies that I helped create is looking at a wearable wristband. Baltimore company, Abiona, she has a wearable apparatus that tracks non-invasive, like inertial measurement units, electromyograph signals. These are for the boot camp students over there that are developing Python programming. To collect the data to determine if a child is using the asthma inhaler correctly to decrease asthma exacerbation disparities, going to the hospital, going to the emergency room, and to prevent the preventable mortality and morbidity that's in the United States that impacts adversely African American children. So these are the different types of projects that, just to give you an example, that can be done with this incredible program, with the knowledge acquired, that you can not only, sit at the table and get a job, but be entrepreneurial as well, and make the solutions, create the inventions, go to HHS, get an SBIR, Small Business Innovative Research, grant, STTR, focus and partner with an institution, not only make, $30 million, $40 million for the institution, tech transfer, and then kick that hockey stick up to $1 billion and more. Mansa Musa can do that at $400 billion, just to give you history, which is like the richest person on the face of earth. Bernard Arnault is doing $200 billion. There's no reason why HBCU and faculty and students can't do $500 and then make the real change. So thank you a lot. Thank you much for providing this opportunity. And I'll do all that I can to push the needle forward so that the curriculum is excellent, the students are trained well, and communities of color have health equity, and this whole disparity is eradicated forever. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Dr. Doswell. And he has always